Front row MMA here with Brad Pickett. Brad, it's a few weeks out until Sweden. How much are you looking forward to getting back into the cage and fighting again?
It's my job, you know. I'm not saying it's a bad job, but I want to be back in there as much as I can. For me, I love fighting. Training sucks. I love fighting. So don't get me wrong. I know I need to train to be in shape to fight, but I can't wait to get back in there. And hope, you know, last time I was in Sweden, it went well for me. I'm hoping to have that repeat performance.
You know, with another strong performance in Sweden, where do you see yourself in the mix at the moment? Because there's a pretty big bottleneck happening at the time.
Yeah, like I said in a lot of other interviews, I'm there and thereabouts. You know, I always kind of like get close, and like when I fought back in WC days, when I fought Scott Jorgensen, if I had to beat him, I remember going went off a title shot. He beat me. He had a title shot. Then I fought Henan Barao. If I'd have beat him, he then beat me. Now Eddie Wineland. So I'm always there and thereabouts. I keep falling over the final hurdle, you know. So I just need to make sure, yeah, a bit of lady luck on my side, you know, and staying healthy and that, and a couple of the wins going my way, you know.
I don't want to curse out another fighter, but let's say Michael McDonald falls a little short this weekend. Is that still a fight that you'd be interested in having?
Of course, yeah, because he's up there. I want to fight people ranked above me, you know, and yeah, I think it'd be a good fight, you know. But at the moment, I don't want to look at that.
Of course.
I've got Mike Easton, you know, he's a top 10 opponent as well, so I need to beat these guys if I want to stay where I am, and that's my focus at the moment.
And obviously, you're going to be watching the McDonald Barao fairly closely. I don't know if you're allowed, but you know, if I was going to put a bet on, which way should I go?
To be honest, this sport is hard to bet on. You know, that's why it's so exciting for all the UFC fans out there, because it's not like boxing. When you have the massive favourite, the massive favourite wins 10 times out of 10. In this, it doesn't. You know, there'd be so many upsets. So, me personally, I think Henan Barao has more tools, and he's a more experienced fighter, and should win the fight. But Michael McDonald hits hard, and that's a hell of a tool to bring into a fight, because you can stop the fight no matter what. So, that's what I mean. I think, I'm thinking Barao. But I'm not a betting man, so I probably wouldn't bet on either.
Well, thank you so much for your time. It's been a pleasure.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Obviously, the UFC is at Wembley tomorrow. You're a London lad, born and bred. So, how gutted are you that you're not actually fighting in your hometown?
Yeah, a little bit gutted actually, because at the end of my last fight, I fought in not my last fight, the fight before that, last one in England was in Nottingham. If I'd have known about this, I probably would have then looked to fight on this card, but it hadn't been announced or nothing. So I wanted to get back in there quickly. So I wanted to fight at the end of the year. So I got in on the Vegas card. So I was happy about that. And then they announced this. I was like, okay, it doesn't matter. It would be nice now to watch fights in my hometown without being fighting or cornering someone. I could sit down and enjoy the show.
Okay. Recently, you was on Channel 5. You done a documentary with your fiance, Fighters' Wives. What do you think the reaction to the programme was? Was you happy with it?
Yeah, I actually got a lot of good feedback from it. All of it about Sarah. Everyone loved Sarah and how she. And it was really eye-opening to me, because I always see Sarah as face-to-face. I never see what Sarah's like behind the scenes. Now I can see how tough it is for her behind the scenes, because she always stays strong in front of me. So for me, she never really cries. She never cries much in front of me. So for me to see her, how much she was upset and how emotional was in there, it was actually very moving. And so now I know what she goes through. I know what it's like now.
Okay. And having watched that programme back, do you think that maybe sort of the casual fans or people that are kind of got a keen interest in mixed martial arts are kind of actually now think that it's a decent sport, it's something that they could possibly get into?
Well, it is a sport, you know. It's all the Olympic sports, you know, brought together. It's like judo, boxing, karate, all that stuff, all in one, grappling. So it's all that mixed together. So I think in this country we are a little bit behind times with how we portray the sport, but the UFC did a great job of promoting it and putting it in the right direction. And also now with that Channel 5 program, that they represent the sport very well and showed it for what it really is. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because I'm a sportsman, I'm an athlete, I'm not a thug.
Okay. You spoke about the sport being a little bit behind in the UK. Obviously, you go out to American top teams to train. How much has that brought on your game? Because it seems like since you went to WEC, you've evolved that much more as a fighter.
Yeah, definitely it helps. There's other reasons why I go away to train as well, is not just because I have good sparring partners and good coaching out there. Sometimes it's good to get away from your day-to-day life, day-to-day distractions, you know. But also the weather, it's a lot easier for my body to train in heat than being cold and taking an hour and a half to warm up in the gym and then start training. So for me, it's a lot of good reasons, but also, yeah, the level of wrestling is very important, and if we have no wrestling in England, really.